Today, a very important part I'm going to discuss with you, that is the elements of the communication process. What are the important elements of the communication process? And I'm going to show you a video for the same. Okay. So let's first start. Melvin, are you there? I hope I cannot see Melvin. Is he there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Only Ved is missing, right? Anyways, I have to start. I cannot every day start late. If you all are going to be late like this for the class, it becomes very difficult. Okay. The first important person, okay, from whom the communication starts is the sender. So I can say that sender is the source of the message, okay? He has to encode the message. Once he encodes it, it goes via a channel or a medium, okay? And then it is received by the receiver who decodes the message. I'll explain the whole process, but before that, I want you to see a video, okay? I'm playing a video, please have a look at it.
Contains information that is easily interpreted or understood. Once the sender has decided what the message is, the next step in the process is encoding, translating the message into symbols or language that the receiver understands. Once a message is encoded, it is transmitted to the receiver through some medium. The pathway through which an encoded message is transmitted to a receiver. Just as senders have to translate their ideas or messages into a form that can be to the receiver, receivers have to make sense of the messages they receive. Decoding is interpreting or trying to make sense of a sender's message. After decoding the message, the receiver has to respond to it and start the feedback loop. The receiver must first decide what message to pass on to the original sender. If receiver properly interpreted the initial message and common understanding has been reached, the communication process is complete.
Once more, you want to see, or is it clear? Is it clear, everyone?
Ma'am, it's clear. Ma'am, it's clear.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, great. Now let's quickly understand what the whole process is. I'm going to start explaining it. Neha, please pay attention and sit properly in the class. I want all of you to pay attention. This is a very important part of your topic, so it has to be done very well, right? Please mute yourselves and listen to me as I ask questions, answer. Right, let's start. So first and foremost, as I told you, the first important source is the sender. He is the first person in the communication channel, okay? He is the source, and it is he who starts the communication process. What he does is, why is he the source? Because he is the one who is sending the message. It could be a writer, it could be an actor, it could be a student, anyone. What he is going to do, the sender has to identify, he has to analyze, and he has to sequentially arrange his ideas. Like now I am trying to explain, so I'm trying to arrange my ideas in such a way that it can go to you. Now, when the sender, he's able to arrange and sequentially arrange the ideas, he has to put these ideas in the form of a message. Okay, how does he do that? With the process of encoding. So the process of transmitting the symbols, the words, the gestures, the ideas, everything in the form of a message is called encoding. Encoding is the process of transmitting the sender's ideas and his symbols, his words in the form of a message. That is step number 2. What am I talking about? Step number 2, encoding a message. Okay. Also understand, it involves the choice of an appropriate media through which the message will be encoded. Words and symbols need to be selected properly, okay, for the purpose of communication. So basically, the transmission of ideas, words, and symbols into a message is called encoding. The third important process we are talking about is the message. Once the message is ready, it is going to go via channel or a medium. Now, what is a channel and what is a medium? Channel basically connects the sender with the receiver. Your videos are off. I'm not being able to look at y'all. I don't know if you're listening or you're following. So the channel, please remember, it is a very important part in the communication process because it connects the what? The sender and the receiver. Now, how does channel connect? No communication can take place without the channel and the medium. But both channel and medium are different from each other. Okay? When I write a letter is what? It is a medium. And what is the channel through which that letter is going? Say an email service. So that becomes your channel. When I'm speaking, my speech is a medium. It is going through a loudspeaker or through the mic. So that becomes the channel. Okay, I hope I'm being clear. So remember, no communication can take place if there is no proper channel or medium. Once the channel and medium we cross, we reach the receiver. Sender is the source of the message. Receiver is the destination of the message. He receives the message. He is the one to whom the message has been directed to. He can be a listener, he can be a reader, he can be a viewer. That is a receiver. Now, receiver's role is very important here because he has to decode the message in the same manner in which the sender had intended to send it. So decoding is the process of what? Of interpreting the meaning of the message sent by the sender. Okay. After deriving the meaning, now the receiver has to give a loop. Can you see that loop? That loop is called the feedback. Feedback is nothing but a response, the reaction you are giving to the communication process. If the feedback is in the same manner in which the sender wanted it, obviously the communication process is successful. So unless and until the receiver does not give his response, his reaction, or his feedback, communication becomes ineffective. It is not possible that the communication is taking place. Feedback is the most key element in this communication process because it helps to judge the effectiveness of the message. Feedback enables the sender to know whether the person has understood the message effectively or not. And feedback can vary from situation to situation. In a face-to-face contact, the feedback is immediate. But in a written feedback will obviously take much more time. Feedback can also be shown. Suppose a boss, okay, he reprimands the employee. He gets scolds the employee. So employee's reaction, he's feeling upset about it, is nothing but a feedback. Okay, I hope the communication process is being understood. There is no problem with it.
Ma'am.
Yes. Tell me.
What is the noise for in that message channel and receiver?
I'll come to noise. First, tell me the loop which I have explained. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
There's no. Okay, so let's start first. Let me see how much you all are understanding. Then I'll explain noise. Okay, Ronak, who's the source of the communication process? Who's the source? I said this is a very important
Sender.
attention. Yes.
Sender.
Sender is the source of the message. What is encoding? Who can explain encoding?
Ma'am,
Who's answering? Please tell me, Ronak. Please answer.
ma'am, encoding is the process where sender is sending the message to receiver by telling his ideas and his
Translating his ideas
to
into what
receiver.
messages which the receiver understands. That is encoding. Okay, good try. Neha, either you pay attention in the class because I'm not seeing that there is any participation. Please sit straight and pay attention. Right. Kaustav, what is the meaning of a channel and a medium?
Ma'am, channel and medium means the path through which the message is sent to the receiver from the sender,
Okay. How is channel different from medium? Who can tell me that?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, wait, please try.
Ma'am, channel is the source, whereas medium is the process where it carries the source to the receiver.
Channel, I can't say it's the source. Channel is a path, as
Path.
first said, okay? And medium is, you can say, the process through which this channel takes place. As I said, letter is a medium, but email service is the channel. Clear?
Channel.
Okay. Who's the receiver, Melvin, then?
And the receiver is who takes the message.
So can I say he's the destination where the message has to be sent?
Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
say that? Right? He's the destination to which the message is sent. Then what is decoding?
Ma'am, decoding is
message.
decoding is the process where the actual words of the message are decoded so you can understand.
Correct. And the sender, the receiver should be able to decode the message in the same manner in which the sender is supposed to do. What is feedback then?
Yes.
Who's going to try? Okay, Ronna.
Mama, feedback is the
Ma'am, feedback is the process where receiver is telling, messaging the sender by telling he understood and is messaging properly, and he understood. So, if he writes the proper words and sender understands, means sender understood that he is understanding.
Correct. So basically, communication process is incomplete without a feedback. Now, feedback doesn't mean it has to be only in proper words or it has to be only written. Feedback can also be through your reaction, right? Like the way you're sitting in class, the way your postures. I get a feedback, isn't it? That you're understanding in the class or how you're reacting to it, a frown on your face, a happy smile. All these are nothing but a feedback which the sender gets. Okay. Now, as Kaustav asked me, what is noise? Noise is the hindrance to the communication process. Let's take a meeting is taking place in a restaurant, okay, between two important parties, say a supplier and a business dealer. Okay, they've come for a business deal. In the background, suddenly music starts playing, or there's a lot of noise around. Will the communication process be possible then?
no.
So then noise is nothing but a barrier to communication. It is a hindrance to the communication process. Say, for example, there is a factory setup. Okay, the laborers are working and the, you can say the head of the department, he says, please wear your hand gloves. Okay, so that the, when you're working on, there is hygiene maintained. Now, or there is no hazard to you. But now the factory worker is not being able to listen because the machines are constantly being, working in the background. So what happens here? So is he being able to understand the message given by the sender at that point of time?
No, ma'am.
No. So that noise is acting as your hindrance to the communication process. These are not only the elements. The question comes in many ways. Explain the communication process with the help of a diagram. Write the elements of communication. Then you should be able to explain it properly. Okay. Once more, I'm going to show you this video so it becomes totally clear. And then I'll go to the next part. Please have a look at it because whatever I've explained now, you will be able to connect properly with it.
The sender is the individual, group, or organization that needs or wants to share information with some other individual, group, or organization. The receiver is the individual, group, or organization for which the information is intended. The message is the information that the sender needs or wants to share with other people. A message is clear when it contains information that is easily interpreted or understood. Once the sender has decided what the message is, the next step in the process is encoding, translating the message into symbols or language that the receiver understands. Once a message is encoded, it is transmitted to the receiver through some medium. The medium is the pathway through which an encoded message is transmitted to a receiver. Just as senders have to translate their ideas or messages into a format conveyed to the receiver, receivers have to make sense of the messages they receive. Decoding is interpreting, or trying to make sense of a sender's message. After decoding the message, the receiver has to respond to it and start the feedback loop. The receiver must first decide what message to pass on to the original sender. If receiver properly interpreted the initial message and common understanding has been reached, the communication process is complete.
I hope now it's totally clear to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Can we go to the next part then? Anything you want to ask me here? What is encoding? What is decoding? Who's the
No, ma'am.
clear? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Then we come to the important objectives of communication. Why is communication essential? Okay. The important objectives are the basic objective of communication is to convey information. Okay. It wants to convey information in the form of ideas in such a manner that would get a response from the sender. So the first is to give and receive information. An individual often communicates with other individuals to give or receive information. In an organization, the management uses communication to inform the employees. What kind of information you think the employees would get from the managers? Can anyone?
Ma'am, what kind of work they have,
What kind
or
of
what they have to do in a certain period of
can
time?
I say that the manager needs to share the goals, the policies, the rules of the organization with the employees? That
Yes, ma'am.
information he needs to share. All kinds of meetings, when a meeting is going to be taking place, any telephone call, notice, any employee handbook, bulletins, all this will be given as information to the employees. Moreover, organization also tries to connect with the other stakeholders of the organization. That is the government, the suppliers, the investors, the customers. All this, they need to know what is happening inside the organization. So manager gives an up-to-date information for formulating plans, for taking important decisions, for achieving the goals both within the organization as well as outside the organization. Internal information consists of the sales data, the qualifications, the labor absenteeisms, etc. On the other hand, external information will consist of market conditions, government policies, supply of raw materials, etc. So all this information needs to be sent between the two parties, that is the sender, who's your organization, and the receiver, who are the different stakeholders of the organization. So first important objective of communication is information being sent and received. Second important objective we are talking about is advice. Who's going to give the advice and who's going to receive the advice? Okay. So to provide advice, information tends to be very factual and neutral, whereas advice is more subjective. It is more opinionized. You should do this. I feel this is a better way of dealing with things. That is giving an advice. So advice may be given on personal matters. It could be given on official matters. In business, supervisor will advise the employee that how he's going to handle different situations. He may advise the workers to how to handle the equipments in a factory. Managers need specialized advice from experts in many kinds of matters like taxation, project financing, accounting. All this advice is given by who? By the manager to the employees. So second important objective I'm talking about is advice. Are the first two objectives clear? Children,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
information and advice, both clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Third important objective I'm talking about is counseling. Can anyone tell me what is counseling? You all have counseling sessions in school. What is counseling?
Ma'am, counseling means questioning someone to in order to get him with the what to do in the future.
Anything else anyone wants to add on what is
Ma'am, helping someone who's in need. of it.
Correct. Especially in a managerial situation in an organization, the stress levels are very high because the workers are constantly working day and night, and lots of strains the employees have to face. So to boost up their morale, to deal with family issues, to deal with, any stressful situation, some counseling sessions are also given in the organization at the different levels. Okay. Professionally, managerial people are employed, like counselors, psychologists. You even have doctors, of psychology, whom you can go to approach for any medical help if needed for counseling sessions. Clear? Then you also have face-to-face conversations with counselors and the workers, and they can improve the physical and mental health of the employees. The fourth important pointer I'm looking at as order and instruction. What is the meaning of an order, and how is it different from an instruction? What is order and instruction?
Ma'am, I think order is a command which is given to someone, and instruction is like that. Instruction is you should do this or you have to do this.
Correct. Very good. Order is to get things done. As he said, it's a command. Manager issues an order to the subordinate. He says, this has to be done. Okay, this is a direction. On the other hand, so order involves assignment of tasks, while instruction specifies the way the task can be performed. Okay, instruction is these are the guidelines, you have to follow them and perform the task. But order is giving the command, and obviously order and instruction are based on the superior's authority, and the subordinates are expected to obey them and follow them. Okay, clear? Okay, next. Orders and instructions can be oral or in writing. Orders are generally very formal. If you see an order, it's always given in a very formal way. The boss or the head of the department, he comes and he addresses the whole situation, trying to give a proper command of the situation, then how he wants things to be done. Please, employees, follow these are the deadlines. By this time you have to complete this. This is how you're going to go about things. This is the team that I want in this particular department. This is how order and instructions are given. Another important...
Ma'am?
Yeah, tell me. I'm listening.
Can we say that instructions are somewhat similar to guidelines?
Sorry? Can we say that?
Can we say that instructions are somewhat similar to guidelines?
Yeah, we can say that. Instructions are like guidelines which are given. Correct. Good. Then is imparting education and training. Education involves what? Education is a formal method of communication over a long period of time, like going to school, dressing up in the morning, formally going and attending all the classes, doing your homework. So education is very formal, if you see, okay? And it consists of both teaching as well as learning. Education and training of workers and executives is very necessary to keep them abreast with all the new developments that are taking place. Lot of orientation programs are held. What is orientation? Why we have orientation programs? Anyone?
These orientation programs are held to...
Yes, tell me.
Like,
one by one, not together. First, wait. First, I listen to wait, then I listen to you. Yes.
Ma'am, orientation programs are certain programs where they engage you in other different activities, so you can learn more about the practical world.
Okay, Costa, what were you doing?
I was seeing that orientation programs are like programs which are held to give information about something. Like, for example, there's a parent orientation in our school for the new parents. So that is for giving information about the school and how it works.
Excellent. In an organization, orientation should be generally done for who? Who do you think in an organization orientation would be?
Employees.
Employees?
Correct. In case of employees who are new to the organization, they don't know how it functions. So if there is an orientation program, they get familiar with the atmosphere, about the rules, the policies, the goals of the organization, what is expected of them. That's why these orientation and training programs are held. Lots of lectures, case studies, seminars, audiovisual aids are used in these kind of trainings. In fact, nowadays even governments use mass media like televisions, newspapers, etc. to impart education on different fields. What are we being given information today every day about? Staying safe at home. What is that for? What are we doing? What kind of information Prime Minister is giving us? Addressing
Ma'am, to stay safe home.
Ma'am, to stay safe.
to stay clean, to be
About coronavirus.
because of
Avoid COVID-19.
try to avoid situations. Even not only this situation, let's say pollution control, safety measures, family planning, lots of kinds of education and training are given at different kinds of levels. Then comes to receive suggestions and grievances. Whom you think is going to give a suggestion and what is a grievance? Yes, Rana, please try out.
Ma'am, ideas.
Sorry?
Ideas.
Ideas are suggestions. Okay, what are grievances? Yes, Costa, what were you saying?
I think they are somewhat like condolences.
They are like, sorry,
Condolences.
I'm not getting you what you're trying to say. Okay. Okay, let's start first.
Ma'am,
Yes.
there's certain hardship, certain barriers that come in your way.
Okay. Grievance basically means a problem situation. Say I am facing some difficulty when I'm working. So I want to express that grievance to my manager. I might not have a direct connection that I can go up to him and approach him. So what will I do? There may be suggestion boxes kept in the office where you can drop your suggestions. Okay. And then these suggestion boxes are collected and later the managers can read them and find out what problems the employees are facing, what grievances they have, what things can be done to help them out. Okay. So employees and customers give useful suggestions and new ideas which can be used. Suggestion flows upwards the feedback. It represents a mild and subtle form of communication. Executives should set aside their ego, have a more constructive mind. They should even involve their subordinates to make constructive ideas and to uplift the goals of the organization. You may have suggestion boxes, which I told you. At periodic intervals, the suggestions can be easily taken out from the boxes and you can have a look at them. Clear? Okay. What is persuasion? And where do we use persuasion? Any idea?
Ma'am, persuasion is it's like a certain thing where you have to convince the other person. Ma'am, basically convincing.
So in an organization, who will persuade?
Ma'am, in order to motivate someone.
Okay. But
Ma'am, an interviewer can persuade the guy he's interviewing, so to join the company.
okay. What about salespeople?
Maybe taking an interview.
They persuade. Whom do salespeople persuade?
Customers.
So basically business is dealing with what? Exchange of goods and services. And whom are we doing this for? To delight the customer. Customer is the king of business. So obviously to delight the customer, lots of marketing efforts are made through sales promotion, advertising, personal selling, door-to-door selling is done. Right? So you're persuading the customer to buy the product. What about sales promotion techniques? Coupons given, buy one, get one free, offers being given, right? So all these are nothing but persuasive tools. Even, in fact, what about politicians? They also persuade the people to vote for them through very effective speeches. Persuasion is an important element of communication. It requires the ability to speak as well as write effectively. Yes, Kaustav, tell me. Kaustav, tell me, I'm listening to you. I cannot listen. Your voice is not
We
coming.
have to rejoin after the meeting ends.
Okay. So I'm not being able to hear. Can I continue, please? And later you... Yeah.
Ma'am is asking if you have to rejoin once the meeting ends.
No, we'll be completing. Just only 3 more objectives are left. Then comes warning and okay. Warning and notice are generally given only after the milder methods. Okay, like advise and appeal fail. Warning becomes like a memo. Say the employee is not listening to his superior, or lots of advices have been given to improve upon, but no methods have been done to, cater to the benefits of the organization. Then a warning or a notice can be given. What happens when you are naughty? You are scolded in school, but if you don't listen and you constantly do something wrong, then a memo is issued or a warning is given. It happens or not, right? So warning is nothing but the form of a memo. A management must issue a notice in writing before suspending an employee. You should give a formal notice that you have not done your duties and your responsibilities well, so we are asking you to leave. Okay, and like that a warning should be given. Warning and legal notice may be sent to the customers who fail to make the payments in time. Even in advertisements we see no smoking allowed. That is also like a warning that it is harmful for your health. Okay? Motivation and morale. Why you think they are important objectives of communication? Any idea? What you understand by motivation and morale? Yes, please.
My motivation is something when an employee is not in good state. You can motivate him so he works. And I don't know about morale.
Morale. How can you build
Morale means confidence, enthusiasm.
Correct. Suppose I appreciate you, I encourage you, you're doing well, good job, progress further, show me new ideas. These way you're building the morale of the employees. Notices, bulletins, and meetings are used to prevent any kind of rumors amongst the employees. Upward communication is encouraged where the employees can express their grievances, their thoughts, their opinions, attitude surveys, joint consultations. Lots of things are done in an organization. Rewards and recognitions are given to them so that their morale is built up and they keep on working towards the upliftment of the organization. The last but not the least, we are speaking about discipline and safety. You should motivate your employees. There should be effective, friendly relations being built amongst them, and rules and regulations should be made to know the employees about written and oral communication. There should be a discipline in any organization. Some decorum, some discipline needs to be maintained. If there is no discipline, it becomes very difficult for the organization to work. What are the rules? What are the procedures? If these rules are not followed, what action will be taken against you? All these information should be given to the employees properly. Training should also be given to them to prevent any kind of accidents, especially for workers, laborers who are working on machines day in and day night. So they have to be very careful about the hazardous situations. Their life is many times at risk. So safety is also a very important point of an organization. So all these objectives, if are fulfilled, communication becomes extremely effective. So all the objectives are clear. You want to ask anything here? Please do so.
No, ma'am.
Totally clear? Objective?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
4 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. It's totally clear.
Okay. So if the objectives are clear, quickly one objective, tell me fast. Who's going to tell which one fast?
Ma'am, I'll start.
Okay, wait. First,
Ma'am, information. Ma'am, information is where something like a CEO or a boss of a company gives information to the employee about what he's supposed to do, and also certain goals of the certain information about the company.
very good. One more objective, Melvin, quickly. Which one are you giving?
Advice in this, the employees or the head of the company can give advice to their colleagues to work more hard or to do how the way the thing should be done.
Okay, great.